Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn about the 11th lesson, Rashtrakutas of Manyakunta and the Chalukyas of Kalyana. Chalukyas of Kalyana, already we are come to know about this lesson. Already we have come to know about him in his previous lessons also. So before we go on with the lesson, I read out the page number 82 of the first paragraph. The Rashtrakutas were Kannadigas. We know that last lesson we come to know it is called as the land of Kannadigas in Rashtrakutas. They were the hereditary king of the Chalukyas in the beginning. It is a hereditary king of the Chalukyas. Later on, they became famous as the rulers of the vast kingdom in the south. The Rashtrakuta age is of glorious epoch on the history of Karnataka. The credit of taking the glory of Karnataka to its peak goes to them. The kingdom, which extended from Narmada River to north and the Kaveri River in the south, has been immortalized in the Kailasnath temple at Ellora and the first Karnataka work of Kaviraja Marga. So what you come to know in the first paragraph is the Kailasnath temple at Ellora and the first Karnataka work of Kaviraja Marga. The kingdom which began to be Dandi Durga continued with Krishna Govinda II, Dhruva Govinda III, Amogha Varsha and others and reached its peak. The early region of Amogha Varsha had to face many obstacles and he was not interested in peace and desired peace. Hence, he got rid to the enmity of developing material relations with the Gangas and the Pallavas. Then he was peace-loving king. He had to give some territories in the north. The ports on the west coast were busy trading centers, enjoying great prosperity by developing trade relationship with Persia and Arabia. Many travelers and merchants visited the kingdom during this period. Prominent among them was the Arab traveler Suleiman. He was praised Amogha Varsha as one of the 4 powerful emperors of the world. So let us know about the continuing of Krishna Govinda II and Dandi Durga of Dhruva Govinda III, Amogha Varsha and others reached the peak. So Amogha Varsha has to face many obstacles in the sense, in the enemy of the thing. He desired peace. He doesn't desire of any war. So hence his enmity in this peace-loving king, he gave up most of his territories to the north and then in the west coast and he built trading centers, enjoying his trading and prosperity, developing trade and have a relationship with the Persians and Arabian countries. Many travelers and merchants, so it was the largest trading center of that period. Arab traveler Sulaiman was the most prized about Amogha Varsha, so the 4 powerful king of the Persia of that world. Amogha Varsha was brave and peace-loving and encouraged all faith. After him, Krishna II, Indra III, and Krishna III ruled the kingdom. So 3 prominent rulers ruled in the kingdom of Amogha Varsha. He is a brave warrior of that period of time. He has faithful Amogha II and Indra III. And the Krishna III are the ruling of that kingdom of that period of time. The weakness in administration during the period of Karka II paved the way for the rise of his hereditary rule, Talepa II of Kalyana Chalukyas, and brought end to the Rashtrakuta rule. What has happened due to the weakness of his administrative ruler during the period of Karka II and paved the way to the rise of the hereditary rule, Talepa II of Chalukyas of Kalyana, brought an end to the Rashtrakutas. So what we come to know in this lesson, the beginning of the north to from Narmada River on the north and Kaveri River in the south. On the amenity is Kailashnath temple of Ellora and the Karnataka work of Kaviraja Marga. So that is the Rashtrakutas ruling of thing. What was the contributions of the Rashtrakutas? The kingship among the Rashtrakutas was hereditary. So what you come to know, it was an hereditary rule. Then that is what after him or his ancestors rule were doing that. They used to be the council of ministers, assisted the king. They were called a prominent person and the council of ministers appointed as the Mahasandhi Vigrahi to look after the foreign affairs. For this purpose, administrative convenience, the kingdom was divided into Rashtra, Mandala, Vaishya, Nadu, and Grama. The contribution to the king. Not only the hereditary rule, and also he kept prominent rulers, council of ministers to take care of the administrative work. They call it as Rashtra, Mandala, Vaishya, Nadu, and Grama. The leader of the Grama was called Gramapati or Grama Gavunda, and the leader of the army village too. He was assisted by the village accountant. So two people have been appointed for taking care of the village affairs and also to take care of the administrative account of the Grama and Gramadipati. There were a Grama Sabha also. Here also been officials as Nadagunda in the Nadus, and similarly officials could be there in the Vaishyas and Rashtras. The Vijayapati and the Rashtrapati were the officers of Vaishyas or the district of the Rashtra respectively. Not only the Gramas and also officials to take care of the Rashtrapati and also to the officers of Vaishyas. So what was the 11 contributions given to the land revenue taxes? Land revenues, tolls on goods, house, shops, tax on occupations like operating quarries, various means what exhibitions, formed in the income of the kingdom. Foreign trade was brought into lot of taxes. What was the taxes and foreign trade relationship with that was being the income goes to the king's court, income of the kingdom. So the welfare of the kingdom. The Rashtrakutas encouraged both Kannada and Sanskrit. Let me later come to the language. Rashtrakutas encouraged both Kannada and Sanskrit. Excellent work were written in Sanskrit. Tivikarma wrote Nala Champu, the first Champu work in Sanskrit literature. Halayuddha wrote Kaviravashya, Jinasena, mathematician Mahaviracharya, grammarian Shakuntayaya, Gunabhadrava, Veeraseva were in Amoghavasha's court. Pampa, known as the Adi Kavi, wrote Adi Purana and Vikramadhyonava Vijaya in Kannada. Vijaya Kavi Punna composed Shakti Purana. Sri Vijaya, who was in the court of Amoghavasha, wrote Kavi Raja Marga. This is a very significant work in Kannada. All this reveal how Kannada literatures had developed in ancient times. The Kannada University Hampi has been awarded as the title of Nandoja in the memory of the first poet Pampa and the great achievers of Karnataka every year. So here also Kannada has become as a famous in that period of time. Along with Sanskrit, these are the scholars who wrote in different books of their name of poetics on their in the Amoghavasha, and Kannada has become a literature developed in the title and is also given a memory of the great of the Pampas. You can see the Pampa picture on them. So not only the prose and poetry and natkas also in that period of time, the authors also, you can write the books on the authors given on the names of the books. Another noteworthy prose work of Rashtrakuta period was Vadharada, the author of Sivakotacharya. It was a collection of Jain religious stories. Special importance have been given to the native Kannada words here. Here is a lively list of plot, structure, characteristics, and dialogue. This is a great prose work belonging to the pre-Pampa age and enjoys eternal significance in the history of Kannada literature. So the main point of the collections of the Jain religion also been expressed in Kannada literature in this book of this thing of the time of the Pampa. So what you come to know about the educationers of other and also the devotees and all the matas and the contribution of this thing. Agraharas and matas were the prominent and educational centers of those days. Knowledge was important about Sanskrit and the Vedas of astrology, logic, and the Puranas. Salundagi and Hindu Talik of Bijapur district is one of the leading centers of learning. The Rashtrakuta kings were devotees of Shiva, Vishnu, and they built many temples of Shivas and things. After education, we come to know about the architecture. Many temples of Shivas and also Vishnu temples have been built under period of time. Jainism was given more importance. Jainism had received royal patronage and became a widespread religion. So not only apart from their religion, other religions also being encouraged. Apart from these, even other religions were also encouraged. What are the other religions? The Rashtrakuta king were patronage of art. They are very famous of art and literature. The great contribution of Indian art can be seen in Ellora and Elephanta caves temples, the Kailashnath temple at Ellora, built by Krishna first, a monolithic wondering. This temple is carved by the rock of 100 feet high, 276 feet long and 152 feet wide. Nearby is a famous Dashavatara cave temples and the sculptures of the Elephanta caves near Mumbai is a milestone of Rashtrakutas culture. The statue of Adhana, Rishavana and Maheshramurti, three Murtis have been executedly carved. The Rashtrakuta temples are in Shivarala of Raichur district. There was a beautiful temples of Patalakalur. So what are not only the art and literature and architecture, we also find the different temples of the period of time of Ajanta and Ellora caves. Now let us go back to the theme of the contributions of the Rashtrakutas. And then the Amogha Varsha, he was a famous ruler. What was the administration and literature and architecture of that time? Before going on, let us go down to the question answers of this before the end of the lesson thing. Now, last class we've been given a homework of thing. If it's not done also, you can write down the previous lesson of the 10th lesson we have given on the map. So you have to draw a map of page number 77 for homework and submit on Monday. Next, this lesson map also has been given it. So you have to learn according to every lesson separately the map and the thing. So before we go, I'll brief out the points of this lesson. Let us go back to the previous chapter. Previous chapter of 10th lesson, you're having classwork of 1 mark questions, 2 mark questions, and also no 3 mark questions. Fill in the blanks. MCQs, match the following. As usual, you have to prepare your match the following and MCQs from the textbook. Will you please take out the classwork of the previous lesson of 10th lesson? Yes, fill in the blanks of page number 81, fill in the blanks, question answers of 5 and 1 additional short notes, 1 MCQs, then match the following and 1 mark questions. So homework you have to do coming Monday, you have to submit for lesson number 10. Shall I write on the board? Lesson number 10, homework, math, 1 time. And page number is 77. So in this, and also you can write short notes. Write about Narasimha first. Is it clear, children? You have to write and submit the homework. Now, other means of this lesson, we are having about 5 question answers. All are in 1 mark and 2 mark questions that you have to prepare. So, at the time of the lessons, along with all the mains you prepare it, overall, we will see at the revision time. Now, in this lesson of 11th lesson, 1 mark questions, I'll be sending in PDF. Name some of the rulers of the Rashtrakutas. Dandi Durga, Krishna Govinda II, Dhruva Govinda III, and Amoghavarsha were some of the rulers of Rashtrakutas. I'll be sending in PDF form, but let us now take out a few points of this lesson. Yes, point number 1. Who is the founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty and who was a famous ruler? 1 mark question. You can write as Dandi Durga was the founder of the famous ruler is who? Amoghavarsha. Next. Name some of the rulers of the Rashtrakutas. What are the some of the rulers of the Rashtrakutas? Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Name some of the rulers. Some rulers are Dandi Durga, from this you can make it out as a 1 mark questions and also match the following and MCQs. Is it clear? Krishna Govinda, Dhruva Govinda, Amoghavarsha. Who were the officials of Vaishya, Rashtra and Grama? Officials of Vaishya, Vishaya, Vishaya. This four as the following. You can write Rashtra, Rashtrapati, Grama, Gramapati. First copy down, then later on by point wise point, you can make it as for MCQ, match the following and also other 1 mark question. What is Adharadhane? Fifth answer. What was the first works of Chempu? Trivikamu was the first work of Chempu. Right here, sixth one. First. Work of Sanskrit. Chempu Kavya. Next, name the Kannada writers of Chalukyas of Kalyana. I put the heading as 1 mark questions. This also you can put who was a famous ruler, name some of the rulers of that Chalukyas of Kalyana, what are the official scriptures, who is the founder of the text. You can make your own questions also. So name the Kannada writers. Kannada writers of Chalukyas of Kalyana. Fast writing. Next, list of the works of the Adi Kavi Pampa. List out the works of Adi Kavi Pampa. Adi Purana, Vikramja Vijaya are the works of Pampa. Vikramja Vijaya. The works of Pampa. So I'll give you a few minutes time. Please copy it down. I'll read out. Who is the founder of Rashtrakutas is Dandi Durga. Who was the famous ruler of that period of time is Amogha Varsha. Name some rulers of the Rashtrakutas. Dandi Durga, Krishna Govinda II, Dhruva Govinda III, Amogha Varsha. Name the officials of the thing. Vijay, Vishaya, Vishayapati, Rashtra, Rashtrapati, Gramadpati. This is not only a master following, but also MCQs and also 1 mark questions. What was Vadharadhani? Vadharadhani is a collections of the Jain religious stories. What all the stories about, given that he wrote the stories of about them. What was the first work of Champu? Trivikama was the first work of the Sanskrit is in Champu Kavya. Next, name the Kannada writers of Chalukyas of Kalyana, Durga Simha, Rana, and Nagachandra. List of the works of Adi Kavi of Hampi, Adi Purana, and Vikramarjuna Vijaya are the works of the Papa. Now, I'll give some more points also. So, from this, you will come to know about the contributions of Mandala and Gramadipati, and Nadu. So, please note down. I'll give you a few minutes' time. Shall I wrap? Yes. Now, main points, let us go with the points of the lesson. Main points of the lesson, that Rashtrakutas were Kannadigas. They were Kannadigas. They were the Frederick King of the Chalukyas in the beginning. That is what you come to know in the first paragraph. Rashtrakutas were Kannadigas. They were Kannadigas. Then point number 2. The Rashtrakutas periods growed appeared in the history of Kannadigas. They extended the river from the river Narmada river in the north and river in the south, Kaveri. Is it not? Next, Kailash, what is the famous temple of that period of time? 1 mark questions also can be taken and MCQs. So, first Kailashnath temple. At Ellora, Kailashnath temple at Ellora was built by them. Next, point number 3. What are the Karniga works at the Kailashnath temple at Ellora? Were the first Kannada work as a film. So, first Kannada work. What's what? I've already given 1 point in that, Kavi Raja Marta. So, what is the first word has been extended from the north of on the Narmada river on the north side and the south of Kaveri? You can write it as MCQs and 1 more questions. And also as the following. What is the famous temples of the period of time? Is it Kailashnath temple? What is the first Kavi Kannada work? As Kavi Raja Mandra. First Kannada work given there. Dandi Durga is the first ruler of that thing. Already I given you thing. Now name the important rulers of that thing as Krishna Govinda first. Important rulers. Important rulers. You have to make a points like this so that it will be easy for your MCQs and master following. The second paragraph, it tells about the second paragraph, that is, who's it? Krishna Govinda for second. Name the important rulers of that period of time. Krishna Govinda second. Next, Dhruva Govinda third. Amoghavasha. You can underline the second paragraph in your textbook, or you can write in a point wise in your rough note or in your homework book. Next, what you come to the next point is, it was, who was he? Amoghavasha as a in the third paragraph, it is the second paragraph, third line. He may had faced so many obstacles. He was a brave and peace loving. He encouraged all faith. After him, Krishna second, Indra third, and Krishna third are the Rashtrakutas rulers. What was the extended of these rulers after him who came into the ruling power? After him, who came into rule? Krishna second, Indra third, and Krishna third. Were the followers of rulers. What is the question here? Followers of rulers. I put on here. Followers of rulers. Second paragraph. Third paragraph. Amoghavasha was a brave and peace-loving, encouraged all faithful. After him, Krishna second, third list are ruled. These points I'm giving you to make it for you too easy for your MCQs. Next, what was the administration of period of Kaka? And second, paved the rise of the Federatory. Tailapa second and of Chalukyas of Kalyana brought an end to the weakness. The weakness of the administration became weak in that period of time. Karpa second paved a way to the rise of the Federatory rule. Tailapa second had brought the end. Who brought to an end of the Rashtrakutas rule is Tailapa second. Next we can go on to the taxes, foreign trade, that is already there. Then Gramadipati. Grama is called on to the next. Contributions of the Chalukyas. What was the contributions of Chalukyas? We come to know they have council of ministers, admitted of Grama, Nadu, Mandala, and Vyasa. The Gramadipati on that period of time, the then the Grama was called Gramadipati. Grama, that's already I've given, I think. Point number 3. The leader of Grama was called Gramapati, and the leader of the village economy too is a village accountants. Their Grama Sabhas also, and also used as marshal Nadkunda and Nadus. Then the Rashtrakutas Vaishyas, Vaidapati, the officials of Vishaya district and Rashtrakuta thing. Next, on the foreign trade affairs, a lot of taxes. Rashtrakutas, both Kannada and Sanskrit was given as an encouragement of that period of time. So what did write the next point is the who gave the books on that period of time. Among in the court of the writers and the scholars of the court of Rashtrakutas, Jain temple was built in Patadakalu. Enjoys honorable visitors. Okay, next point. युद्धा जीनसेना mathematician Mahaviracharya Shaktayana Gunabhadarya Veerasena were the writers and scholars of that period of time. Were the writers and scholars. So the last paragraph you come to know about the writers and scholars of that period of time. Composed the mathematicians and then Kannada work, the encouraged Sanskrit and Kannada, their excellent works and on that period of time. Now please note down this last 2 points. Before that, I go on to the next point. Pampa, known as Adi Kavi, wrote the book Adi Purana and Vikramarjuna Vijaya. I think this you have in classwork also. Next, in Kannada. Next, the Kavi Puna composed Shanti Purana. Amogha Varsha, who was in the court, Sri Vijaya, and Amogha Varsha wrote Kaviraja Manna. Next, last. Kannada literature as a of Hampi has been awarded in the title of Naranja and memory of the first poet of Anga and great achievers to the Karnataka every year. So not only Rashtrakuta periods of that on that period a special importance of Kannada words and also the significance of history of Kannada literatures. Next, what are the two educational centers of the Agraharas and Matas? Two educational centers. Agraharas and Matas. Now, which is the famous leading center of that period of time? Last paragraph, you come to know about the leading centers of the spread about their educations, patronage of their art, importance in Sanskrit, and then Bijapur district was a leading center of learning in Taluk of Satlam. This leading, what shall I put? Educational leading center of learning. Who was that? It was the answer is of Indi Taluk. Of Bijapur. Which is the leading learning center of learning is of India Taluk of Bijapur. Next, we come about the devotees of Shiva. What are the devotees of the temple is Shiva and Vishnu temples. Jainism has been spread all over the country. They are patronage of art. And what was the great contribution of Indian artists, Ellora and Elephanta caves? Please note down. I give you a few minutes. Why I'm putting all these points on for you is for that so that you can make the MCQs of this lesson. The same way you have to prepare all the lessons like this, point wise, paragraph wise. If you pick it out, it will be easy for you to find out the MCQs. And the same previous lesson also, please try to do it and keep in your rough note. So last point we come to know about in this list, the temples and also the how big is the Ellora temple and Kailashnath temple, which has been Elephanta caves, that we come to know thing. Before that, I give you a few minutes to copy down. Temples. Ellora temple of Elephanta caves. In Mumbai. Milestone of Rashtrakutas, the statue of, next point, statue. Ardhanarishwara and Mahesh Murthy, three Murthy were being carved, and the Rashtrakuta temples are in Shivurala of Raichur district. And there was a beautiful Jain temple in Pattalakkallu. The statues and temple. Now we can come to know about the statues of Ardhanarishwara. Statues, famous statues is Ardhanarishwara and Maheshmurti. So the famous statues of Ardhanarishwara and Maheshmurti, three Murtis, where it has been, and also Rashtrakutas temples, Shiva Matas and temples, then Jain temple and Patadakal. Sri Ravala in Raichur. Now, one mark questions have been given it points wise. Also have given you in MCQs and important points. Only these are the points which I given you. It will be coming for MCQs. So we come to know about the Rashtrakutas, their contributions, their educational centers, their temples, and the famous Kavi with their authors. So in this also I have given you the Ellora temple, right? About famous about the Ellora temple. Then last paragraph it tells you the Kailashnath temple at Ellora, built by Krishna first, is a monolithic wonder. The temple has been carved from the rock of 100 feet high, 276 feet long, and 152 feet wide. So write a short note on Ellora temple. So who's the founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty is Ravi Durga. I pick out the points. The Chalukyas of King of Kalyana was responsible of defeat of the Rashtrakutas is Tailapa II. The author of Shivikara is Sri Vijaya. The famous poem written by Panna is Shanti Purana. The famous king of Chalukyas, Kalyana of Chalukyas is Vikramaditya VI. Now, the famous spin of social elite, we come to know about the revolutions of Kalyana, of Chalukyas, about their honorable speech on the history of art and literature, and also the coins, and how about the Basveshwara on the next lesson. After that, what was the contributions of Chalukyas of Kalyana, the temples and the viharas and the architecture and the jewelry on that kingdom on that period of time of Someshwara's four and about the Kalyana, encouraging of art and architecture in the next lesson. Before I end up with this class, today class, we'll just go back to the points of that which you come to know about, that they are famous Rashtrakutas of Kannadigas. They are famous in the on the north of river Narmada, Kaveri in the south, and then Dandi Durga was a continued king of the Krishna II, Durga Govinda, Durva, Govinda, Amoga Vasha were the rulers of the thing. Then he's a peace-loving king, and he gave up his territories in the north and the west coast, and an Arabian traveler, Sulaiman, was also a prominent among the thing. Amogavasha was a four powerful rulers of the world. Next, third paragraph, we come to know about the peace, loving, and encouragement of Krishna II, Indra III, and Krishna III, the ruler of thing. After that, his administration has become weakness, and on due to that rise of the Karpa, Tailapa II of Chalukyas put an end to the Krishna Rashtrakutas rule. What was the hereditary on the contributions of the king? Is the prominent rulers of councilors, ministers are appointed in different gramas and gramadipati, Rashtramandas, Nadu and Mandala. and Gramadipati, and took care of the Sabhas and officials of Nadus, and also Vishas of Rashtrakutas, Rashtravilpati, and also the respective districts. Land revenues, house shops, tax occupations, many phase and process of income have been framed, and foreign trade brought to the taxes to the government of the income of the kingdom. It goes to the income of the kingdom. Rashtrakuta, they encouraged both Sanskrit and Kannada. Excellent works of Sanskrit. I think you have come to know about the writers of the Sanskrit literatures and the books, and also the authors. Pampa, known as Adi Kavi, wrote of Adi Purana and Kannada work, and Shanti Purana was a quote of Amoga Varsha. This is a significant works of Kannada and the literature of their ancient period of time. Kannada University, Hampi, has been awarded as the title of the first poet of Pampa and other the Karnataka of every year. Rashtrakutas period, you can come to know the collections of Jain religion, special importance given to the native of the words, and enjoy the significance of Kannada history letters. Agraharas and Matas were also being given the famous educational centers. Knowledge of importance of Sanskrit, astrology, and logic and Puranas are also given nothing. Bijapur has become as the first leading centers of the center. Rashtrakutas are the devotees of Vishnu and Shiva and Vishnu. Then many temples of Shiva, Vishnu, and Jainism temples were received in a widespread of all this. The religions all over the places on the country had been encouraged. They were patronage of art and literature contribution, in that the famous is the Ellora temple. Ellora temple is an elephant case temples which has been built by Krishna first, a monolithic temple, and you have already given the short note for that also. So Elephanta caves in Mumbai, and Elephanta caves, the statues are Ardhanareshwara statues, Mahesh Murti, the three Murtis of the king, Jainist temple in Patarakalu, and Shivavalu of Raichur district. So these are the famous temples of that Raichur district and all these things. So what we come to know, the first point is the founder, the dynasty, the contributions of administrations of literature and architecture of Chalukyas, of the Rashtrakutas, and also the contributions of their lovers, of their educations, and coming to that thing. Now, for the first part of that, I have given you the how was the administration system of the Rashtrakutas, and write about the educational systems of Rashtrakutas, what write about the Ellora temples, how did Kalyana of Chalukyas encourage literature, that will come to the second part of the lesson. Now, Trivikarma was given the Nala Champu. You can write a point like that. Who is the founder of the Chalukyas? Tailapati second. So, like this, you can small points which are given in a point wise. You can mark it like this and keep, so that easy for your MCQs and also NASA foreign. Children, please maintain a pattern of every lesson and a step wise of the regular pattern, lesson wise, and don't make it elaborate notes or answers. So from the point wise itself, you will pick it out. The Mazda following or MCQs is easy for preparing on all the both the ways. So take care, and classworks of this lesson is already given. 1 mark questions of lesson 10 and 11. I'll be sending it today in PDF. You can check it out, and also Biosphere. So Monday you have to submit your classwork and homework of this lesson of lesson 10. Lesson 11, I have not given you any lesson 11. After completing of this lesson, you will be learning, submitting your homework. Thank you.